In this week's lesson, I'm going to talk to you and show you how you can square the club face every single time to hit the ball more solid, straighter with every club in your bag. Now this is one of, I believe to be the most important skills in the game. If you can't control and square the club face, you're always going to be struggling, missing fairways, missing greens. Now I'm going to show you in three really simple steps. And these 3 steps have helped so many of my students over the years start to develop and improve their golf swings and hit much better shots. I'm going to share that with you today. I just want to show you from this position to begin with. If I stand up here, so this is my golf posture, I'm going to stand upright. Notice how the grooves on my club are nice and vertical. So if I was swinging a club from here without my tipped over posture, I would need the grooves to be vertical when I get back to this point. That would be my club face being square. That would enable me to hit nice straight shots. So watch what happens when I make my backswing. I rotate my body, my arms fold, I get round to here. Have a look at those grooves. They are no longer vertical. They are horizontal. So as I start to make my downswing and I rotate my body and I separate my hips from my upper and I deliver my hands nice and forward, look at that club face. Those grooves are not vertical. So in the downswing, I have to be really good at returning the club face to square. That's one of the key skills. If we don't have that skill, if we don't develop that skill, you're just going to struggle. And that's why so many golfers struggle with a slice, because they don't square the club face at impact. The key thing would be how to do it correctly. That's what I'm going to teach you in this lesson. Because look at this, if I get myself into this position here, and I've got those grooves that are horizontal, and I needed them to be back to vertical, what could I do to do that? Well, I could use my body and make weird and wonderful movements. You can see the grooves are a little closer. I could release the club early. That would square the club face. I could tip the club shaft up. All of these movements that you might see in your golf swing and wonder why you've got these weird body movements, or why you steepen the shaft, or why you early release. Well, I've got the answer. It's because you're trying to square the club face, but you're not doing it in the right way. What is that right way? Well, let's start off by getting rid of the golf club. And this is the first little exercise you need to do. We're going to start to train this trail arm, because the trail arm is really key to all this. Take a setup, place your trail hand down as if you've got a golf club, and you'll notice where the palm faces. Now as I make a backswing here, and I start to come into my delivery position, have a look at that. Where does that palm face? It doesn't face the target, it faces over towards you where you're looking at this from. You're going to take your lead hand and you're going to hook it over your bicep. And you're going to continue to pull your bicep towards the golf ball. And as you're doing that, I want you to turn the palm to face the target. Okay, so I'm using the lower part of my arm, the forearm and the hand here. This is really key. The reason I'm holding this, because so many of you, when you try and square that club face, would do it through your shoulder. Palm is now square, but that's not the movement I want. If you get there at impact, you might have seen that. It's not really where you want it to be. So the first little exercise is take this starting position, find a delivery, elbow is leading the wrist, palm is facing opposite me, hold the bicep, keep it pulling forwards, and learn to twist that face or that palm towards the target. You'll also notice it's slightly down towards the ground, because if I did that with a golf club, what's that going to do to me? That's going to give me this square face, but the shaft lean. And that's really key, because we want you to square the face, but also have the ability to have the hands forward. The two, really powerful combination. So it brings us on to our second little exercise. And this is just trying to put a little bit more of a dynamic movement in it. Okay, trying to build it up towards a golf swing, because I always like to learn these movements by stripping them back and isolating the thing that we need to work on, trail arm, understanding those movements, but then starting to bring in a bit of a golf swing element. So you're going to take your setup, hold the golf ball in just a couple of fingers in your thumb, hand goes into your elbow, and I want you to get your target, which is the flag down the distance, and I'm going to make a little backswing. I'm going to pull the elbow forward. Again, we're trying to stop this movement here, which is really common. And as I do that, I want to throw the ball down at the ground and feel like I bounce it towards my flag. So let me go ahead and show what that would look like. Looks relatively simple, but it might not be for you. It may well be that when you've got your hand in this position, you want to use your body to put the hand facing there. You're tempted to use the elbow. You're maybe wanting to release it this way. All of these movements are quite, unfortunately, quite natural to many golfers, but it's not the right way of doing it. Try that a few times, and then it will bring you on to the third little exercise, and we need to kind of set a few things up for this. I mean, this could be an absolute game changer for you, because I absolutely love this. There's a couple of key points to this, but it sort of forces you to do the right thing. It's a drill and a practice station where you really get found out if you do the wrong thing. So you've seen me just set this up. I've got my ball teed up. I want to make that a little easier. I've got my head cover just on the outside of the ball. You can use anything. Head covers are ideal for this. And you can see just how close the toe of my club was to that. Now I've got my target in the distance, which is the flag. I want to hit these shots left of that flag. Doesn't really matter how far left, but left of the flag. Anywhere left is a tick. So I need the club face to arrive closed. Now, if you're someone who doesn't square the face correctly, you will be trying to close the face through lots of weird and wonderful ways that we've discussed in this video. If you try and square the face by steepening the club shaft, which many do, you will collide with the head cover. If you try and square the face by moving your body in weird and wonderful ways, you will arrive at the head cover. You may be someone who squares the face by releasing the club early, such as this. Well, one of the keys in this drill is that you've got to rehearse to impact with the hands forwards. So here are the three things that I want you to focus on when you're going to hit these little shots. Number one, you miss the head cover. Really easy to analyze. You either hit it or you didn't. So you're missing the head cover. Number two, you have got the hands forwards. That's really key. It means that you're not early releasing the golf club. And number three, you've got your sternum or your zip behind your belt buckle. What that's telling me is it's telling me we've got good sequencing. You're not using your body to try and square the face. So if I showed you what that would look like, just rehearsing to impact, I would go back. I am going to miss the head cover. Hands are forwards. Zip behind button. Face is closed. That is difficult. Trust me, this is not an easy drill. And if you do this and you find it difficult, don't give up, because if you find it difficult, that should be the confirmation you need to say, this is probably a drill that you need to do, because this is highlighting some areas of weakness. Let me go ahead and hit one. Now, I wouldn't start off by hitting this anywhere near full speed. These are just going to be really quite short, really quite slow, with a couple of rehearsals first. This way. Ball goes low, ball goes left. I didn't hit the head cover. I ticked all my boxes. What I've just learned there in that one little exercise is I've learned how to take a club, which was in this position, and how to use my body correctly, how to deliver the hands forwards, and how to use my trail arm to correctly square that club face in a way that I'm able to have shaft lean, I'm able to put compression on the golf ball, and I'm able to get that strike that you desire. The ones that the pros do, where they really compress and rip those irons, and it feels phenomenal when you can do it. What you can start to then do is scale that up. So you would leave the head cover in place, you'd still try and hit those checkpoints, but you'd try and hit the ball pretty straight at your target. So you're starting to work towards kind of quote unquote normal golf swings now. So let's go set up and see if we can hit a shot towards that green, but still trying to obviously miss the head cover. And that's probably going to be a little bit short because I've got the wrong club. Yeah, a little bit. But I missed the head cover. There's a tick. I got a little divot after the ball. That tells me my hands are forward. And I'd have to check from video, but I think my body sequence was good. So I still got all the information and the ball went straight, so I squared the face. The other way you can do it, and I love this one, do it from here. Grooves are vertical, let it swing back, return it with the hands forwards and the grooves vertical. But notice how the club is staying on this horizontal angle. It's not coming off the angle through my arms. It's not coming off the angle through my body. I'm not doing it through releasing early. I'm doing it in the right way. The key to that, trail arm and body sequence. If you can learn how to square the club face correctly, the game, trust me, will become a lot easier.